Yes. For those that don't know, that was Primal Eyes. If anybody remembers Parasite Eve, very cool game that absolutely deserves a uh not a remake, well maybe a remake, but like just like a remastering, and like it should be on like Steam and shit and remastered. Those two games are great. Parasite Eve, Parasite Eve 2, and really cool music too. Very cool music. Yes, everything is orange now because it's Halloween month. So it's going to be orange this month. I don't know what I'm going to do for the other months. But this month, it's orange. So, all right, guys. Let me, get stuff going here. So it's Thursday, so today is not watching videos and commenting on them day. It is me rambling about something that's in my head that bothers me or takes up some part, like lives rent free in my brain. Among many things, I have a bunch of tenants in my brain. My brain is just an apartment building of things living there for free. Few apartment buildings, a city. Just nonsense. Okay. So, yes. Information minus knowledge equals debate bro YouTuber. Or just in general, equals debate bros. I hate debate bros. A lot. I think they are something that came from various... I mean, they've always technically existed, but it's basically turned into like a commodity of sorts, to, you know, rage bait and things like that. And it's weird. I think it's a product of the internet, what we understand to be a debate bro. You know? Because you've given a bunch of human beings the ability to access almost any piece of information, but you've taught none of them. Well, not none, but you haven't taught the majority of them how to actually process information, how to accumulate knowledge, not just have information at one's grasp. Knowledge is the ability to actually implement information and how to implement it and what is effective in implementing it. Right? So information seeking and knowledge seeking are like very different in that way. And what people do when they have a lot of information, even if it's just in their brain, and they're able to use it to, you know, make themselves sound very intelligent, they often do not have applicable knowledge, and they just end up doing weird pseudo-intellectual bullshit that does nothing but likely make them feel good, which is kind of worthless. Maybe not to them, but ultimately it's just unproductive, and oftentimes actually impedes the ability to communicate with other people. And you see it a lot online. I mean, the meme is the Redditor, right? The actually person. Actuallys are only useful when they don't derail the entire point of what's being discussed. So oftentimes people will use a piece of faulty information or any piece of information that person might not be saying correctly, and then just kind of hone in on that, blow it up, and then use it to basically destabilize all like good faith communication. And it drives me fucking crazy. And when I said it was a commodity, it's because, well, it fucking sells and makes money. And it's just strange to me, right? Because oftentimes I don't think all these guys are like grifters, right? I think some of them legitimately believe that how they're applying the information is the best way. The best way, because like various reasons, like they get support. Other people tell them it's a good way to do it, but there's no actual process. Oh, my dog. 1 second. Yeah, you got me. She got me that time. She actually startled that time. She's getting sneakier when she comes in. She tries to scare the shit out of me, and she successfully startled me this time. Good for her. Anyway, so yeah, you have an audience of people watching these things that are also oftentimes like media illiterate. They're not really seeking the best way to like even introspect on whatever information is being given to them or that they're consuming. And then you have people that do similar things but have an audience producing this stuff. And on and on and on it goes. And because of the audience upholding the value of the oftentimes like fucking, I wouldn't, misused, misapplied information, whether it's like a sincere mistake or not, the person hearing these validations, due to the sort of parasocial, interpersonal, whatever nature of it, then actually it becomes more and more entrenched in the bullshit they're saying, and they start actually believing the bullshit they say. And as they believe it, they start moving further and further away from scrutinizing the things they say in any reliable manner. Now, they might have done it early on in their content streaming, debate, so on career, but as it gets larger, and as the audience keeps, like I said, validating any kind of like, even like amateur journalism or something, goes out the fucking door. I watch a lot of these channels because sometimes they have really cool information or they cover a certain subject in an interesting way. But then they say a bunch of dumb shit that only applies to whatever position they're trying to like advocate for, right, or push for. And that's it. Luckily for me, I can watch it and I can differentiate between, oh, that's good information, and that was worthless. Why did you say that? That's not useful to convey this. That's just going to make people not listen to you. That's dumb. But it gets you clicks from the people that would already agree with you, which is, I don't know what that is. And then when we're talking about, like, say, online debates and shit, god damn, it is a travesty out there. It's just nothing but people using fallacious argumentation while accusing each other of it, with like little to no self-awareness. Like, people are claiming to be steel manning shit, and they're actually creating a straw man, and it happens constantly. And it just becomes like this weird, like almost like this dissonance that occurs where both people are doing stupid shit, but both of them think the other one's doing the stupid shit. It's crazy. Oftentimes it's just like an argument about definition, and they get hung up on that for like 20 fucking minutes because no one is communicating in good faith. They're not trying to get to the bottom of anything. They're just trying to slam dunk or whatever, so they don't look stupid. That's it. And some of the worst examples I've ever seen are ones where you know, somebody has a show or something, and they already have that sort of tactic, they have that sort of debate bro style, and then they invite somebody over that maybe isn't as aware of them, that has like a different position or something, and that person shows up just to talk about it, and the debate bro just takes any kind of leverage they can get to make the other person look stupid. And that leaves the other person pretty confused, especially if they don't know what the shit's about. Because they're literally, they're just trying to convey information and have a conversation. And you can't have those with these people. I'm not sure they know how, to be honest. That's kind of what I'm talking about when it comes to like the sort of communication, media, literacy type shit. Like how to act, like knowledge itself, like how to apply things. I often think that they think they're doing the thing. They think they're doing the action of truth seeking. Like they legitimately believe that's what's happening. That's what their words are in fact doing that. And then you have an audience that confirms that, even when it's absolutely untrue. As soon as you realize a person is not arguing in good faith, you should instantly disengage. Yes. Yes. But the problem is, some of those people that say you want to get shit done, you sometimes have to argue with people that are arguing in bad faith, because they're the person that can actually do anything in some respects, or dismantling the bad faith that they're obviously exhibiting needs to be attacked head on. It needs to be talked about. I was watching a well, it was like a little video essay thing that had to do with you know, the Palestinian genocide stuff, and there was I forgot what show it was, but there was like a scene in which or a section of a talk or something. It was the hosts, I wish I could remember the name, and a particular congressman that has a very strong sort of like pro-Israeli like stance, like you know, this isn't a genocide, this is, you know, everything they're doing is warranted kind of like stance. And that person came in like in debate bro mode head, right, because he's a politician, but the other person like completely disarmed them, because the other person was just trying to like talk like a human being to him, like just saying like, okay, yeah, geopolitics aside, like, come on, like, we both know there's a lot of fucked up shit happening, and we both have a gut reaction somewhere in there that this shit's not all right. And the argument is just kind of becoming further and further pointless. It's just becoming too apparent that this situation is fucked and it needs to change now. And arguing over like who has the right to eradicate who is just wasting time. And like that disarmed the debate bro minded politician. He's like, he was just asking him like ethical questions about the situation, like, is this, like, this happened, could this have been done better, is this intentional, and if it's not, is it incompetence, and stuff like that. And the guy just like, he couldn't, like, the guy didn't know. He was just like, like, he was so uncomfortable. The politician was so uncomfortable because he wanted to, like, he just wanted to have like a pro-Palestine, pro-Israel, like, debate bro battle, right? Like, well, they did this, and well, they did that, and nah, right? Pseudo-intellectuals are allergic to critical thinking. I don't know if they're allergic, but it certainly oftentimes seems like they never bothered learning, or no one taught them. And oftentimes people confuse like critical thinking with just sounding really intelligent or breaking things apart piece by piece. But there's a lot of ways you can deconstruct stuff, and some ways are fucking pointless and actually like often just just create a bunch of fucking detours of nothing. But yeah, so the guy was just asking him, like, more philosophical, more ethical related, more morality related questions, and he wasn't even like trying to like be like, oh, you're a monster for thinking this, or he wasn't even trying to do any of that. He was just trying to explain, like, yeah, okay, but this is all still fucked. Like, what can we do? What can you do about this as a, as the politician that you are, a congressman that you are. I believe it was a congressman. I don't think it was a senator. But it's just wild to me. It's crazy to me, man. But anyway, I don't want to get off on that. But the point is that their sincerity is something that just doesn't seem to exist oftentimes in political, ideological sort of debate circles and stuff. And oftentimes the creators that take pretty reasonable routes, right? And they are, in fact, like, say on one side of the issue or the other. Those are the people that are oftentimes sort of disregarded by the machine that is like online political debates. It's a fucking industry. And that industry is being upheld by nothing but cash and lies. Sincerity and good faith conversation, debate itself is fucking goofy. Debate is kind of like a way of turning, like, the ability to converse with somebody and have some kind of dialectic or whatever, and turning it into a competition. It's fucking dumb. I hate it. Have you ever watched, like, maybe you never have, but have you ever watched, like, university debates? It's the most retarded shit I've ever seen. I fucking hate it. It's worthless. You have, like, like 4 people, and they all take turns and all this, and everyone's just trying to gotcha everyone else, or catch fallacies, or like it just turns into some fucked up, weird, like, linguistic Yu-Gi-Oh game. It's crazy. And I watch it and I'm like, okay, well, if the intent is just to win, I could see how that's like a competition for the purpose of, like, sport. Like, it's just a competition to see who can, like, outwit who or whatever, and make the most convincing arguments, even if, like, they're oftentimes lying through omission constantly. And, like, mixing the worlds of the objective and the subjective when it comes to information, and then like kind of blurring those lines, right, in order to win. That's fine as a sport. Like, if you want to do that at a university, I hate it. I think it's fucking worthless. But it's fine, I guess, as a sport, but not as a means to actually communicate with other people on difficult topics and having those difficult conversations about very real, very consequential shit. So, is this just another symptom? Like, in a way, I mean, somebody could argue, are debate bros just another symptom of capitalism? Is that what we're seeing? Is that all it is? Because, I mean, it seems pretty likely. The monetization and the combativeness fueled purpose it has. It brings in clicks. It brings in people that want to be validated, feel validated. People that want to be upset because the person's upsetting them and they want to feel hateful toward them will feel hateful toward them. Both parties hate watching, or just like, sucking off the creator. Both parties are making money for that person, along with whatever platform or anything else that exists. That is why they sell or they platform, because it makes fucking money. It's also part of why Twitch was doing it forever, even though you had fucking people, and everyone knows Hassan Piker, guys like that saying some fucking insane shit. Completely he's not even a good debate bro. He's one of the laziest debate bros I've ever seen. He rides entirely on his audience validating everything they say. That's it. But he's a moneymaker. Well, not anymore so much. That shit's gone. But the point is, that kind of stuff is what makes money. So how about we stop watching it? In fact, I avoid debates of those kind. Like, I'll listen to a debate bro style channel if it has something useful in there. But like actual debates between people, like I used to watch some of that shit when I was like maybe like I don't know, late 20s or something. Like was it late 20s? Yeah, super late 20s, earlier YouTube and shit. Before I really learned how fucking worthless it is. What does it accomplish besides making money for the people involved and taking up the time of the people watching it? It's not even just taking up their time, it's actively like harming your ability to think. It's just the land of pseudos. Why is that an industry? Pseudo-intellectualism has become like a pillar of strength in the mind of people. Fucking crazy. I forgot to turn on my little chat thing. Oh, I forgot to even put it in there. That's my bad. 1 second. What a stupid guy. You're such a stupid guy, next. There we go. Anyway. Oh, I forgot to make that orange. That's where I messed up. Let me make it orange. We gotta make it orange, folks. Halloween-y time. So we gotta make that shit orange. We'll make it a little bit brighter so it's easy to see. There we go. Halloween-y. Debate has become similar to lawyer speak. Yep. If you're wrong, I must be right. Yeah, it's fucking nuts. Maybe false sense of belonging or meaning to the viewers. Yeah, oftentimes it could be something like that, but it's just because people haven't learned the value of being uncomfortable. I think that's one of the major problems. You can't really monetize uncomfortable, right? Too well. But make feel good, you can monetize that. And a lot of these things are just a bunch, it's just another make feel good distraction industry. That's all it is. At least with something like video games or fiction or other types of media entertainment, you're fucking around with art, you're fucking around with storytelling, you're fucking around with elements that tell, that expand the imagination or make you question things or make you think about this or that or whatever. Like, it can do a lot of stuff, but this form of entertainment, this gladiator debate bullshit, I think is actively harmed just discourse in general. And somebody might say, oh, well, yeah, but that's just like online drama. No, it's not. Because, yes, like the stuff you see online with these fucking debate bros and shit going on and on. Yeah, it's just online fucking shit, right? But people, especially younger people, they begin to think that is what communication is for. That is what having two people having a conversation about opposing positions require them to have this fucked up format. And it's like, when you see enough of that growing up, you think, oh, this is just how communication works when you're talking to somebody that disagrees with you, right? And a lot of the channels and stuff that cover this stuff, that kind of that talk about this shit in the way that I'm saying, like in like this kind of much better way. They're not big, they're not blown up, they're usually a lot smaller. Why is that? Because people watch it and they probably either get uncomfortable or mad because they're not doing the things. How many times, I don't, maybe you guys don't know, but like there's been so many times where like I don't know, somebody's pretty reasonable and then they have somebody that like everyone like in their audience dislikes, and then they have them on to have a conversation. And unless both people, especially the host, unless the host is just like full on fucking bunker buster, going for the throat type shit, like all the audience is complaining about, like, wow, you're going really soft on them. Oh wow, okay, all right. Oh, so fucking stupid. And I'm listening to it and I'm going, oh, they're actually having a conversation. Some of these points are interesting. Oh, look, the other person that has like the points that I disagree with are actually make like there's a little bit of like what's called they're actually stopping to think, and they're actually like, you know, being convinced through just information exchange about certain aspects of it, or giving them something to think about, right? And I'm seeing that happening, and everyone in the chat or the comments are just all about like how, oh, fucking you should have fucking gave it to him. Yeah, it's crazy. Like it, and that's all they focus on. And so then their own audience starts hating on them for not being like aggressive enough, for not being debate bro enough. It's all right, Rational Savage. There's always a VOD for this shit, so it'll be uploaded so you can watch it later. No problems there. Thursdays are rambles. I'll watch stuff on Saturdays and Tuesdays. I was incredibly sick all day today, and then I started feeling better, like after I took some like anti like acid shit medicine. I have really bad GERD issues. It sucks. It messes with my entire like digestive stuff sometimes, so I have to like keep it under control. It's poopy. I'm an old man. What was I saying? Yeah. But anyway, the consequences of this style of online discourse is just I'm starting to see some pushback on it. People are getting like fatigued about this debate bro shit. A lot of the people that are like this are becoming like less and less trusted, because I think what's happening is a lot of stuff is becoming like not the, I don't know, general population, but a lot of just grillers essentially are starting to stop. They're starting to not want to grill anymore, because it's starting to affect their steaks and their hamburgers, right? The quality and the cost of their hamburgers are just getting a little out of control. And so then grillers start going, oh, I guess I should look into why that's happening. And then, you know, they stumble across some of this shit. They read some comments. They go, why is everyone so mad? And then they find the person that's a lot less mad all the time, and then they watch that one. There's a few good ones out there. Like, let me give you one example. There's a guy, you can find him on YouTube. His name, or his channel name, is Rathbone. It's Rathbone. Bone. I watch a lot of his content. Now, sometimes the title's definitely clickbaity, but you know, he's trying to make a living, I guess. But he tends to have kind of like a similar, like, sort of like dysthymic disposition, which I respect and relate to. And he does sometimes say some like, look at you, you're just trying to be a little shit stir. But generally, like, and as somebody that, you know, is decently versed in like, well versed in like history, especially anything with the Cold War, he's dropping some really good information oftentimes. You know, even if like, oh, that's, I don't know about that position, guy, but like, or whatever, like if you feel about certain things like that, the information itself and what he's trying to convey is coming from a very good faith place. And it's actually quite interesting for that reason. One second. All right, I'm back. There we go. But anyway, I mean, I'd say he's definitely he's a fucking commie through and through. He's not gonna deny that, and I'm fine with that. But he's the kind of person, and I'm not saying they're perfect in any way. God, I would take that guy over fucking Hassan Piker or Vosh when it comes to like just listening to them and hearing them talk about it. Like he doesn't seem to take much like enjoyment in being right about something. In fact, it just looks like he's miserable. Hold on. Like you could see it. Like the guy's like burning out, man. But he can be funny sometimes. A little corny sometimes. Some of the jokes, whatever. But man, it's some solid spit. I'll tell you that. And like I listened to a few other people that are more like conservative, like obviously like more capitalist or whatever, that are kind of like that too. And though I disagree with a whole lot of it, I can sit there and listen. And sometimes there's some interesting points are made, but guys like fucking Ben Shapiro, Jesus Christ. Steven Crowder, remember that guy? It's out of control. Say what you want about Asmongold. He says some pretty fucking dumb shit sometimes. But he's a sincere motherfucker. He's just kind of dumb sometimes. Or lazy. It's more lazy. He's not dumb. He's just oftentimes lazy. He won't like actually like go out of his way to like research something. Because he'd rather just be just yapping. He's a yapper. For sure. But when it comes to like down to earth shit, like just very semi-utilitarian, just down to earth stuff, like the common man or something, he tends to be pretty good at it. But that's why, but he doesn't do debates. God, that would be terrible. God damn. That's why I hate guys like Destiny. Fuck that guy. I used to find some of the stuff they talked about interesting, and some of those takes are okay. But goddamn, dude, like living and breathing the debate bro industry, like it's just oxygen for people like that. Like they don't even know how to talk normally anymore to other people about subjects. Like they're just it's like fucking its own form of like poly brain. It's crazy. Well, I just hate people that just do that kind of shit, and that's what makes a bunch of money. Old David Grabor, interviews are the closest thing to a pure debate. Yeah, I just want to see two people that disagree, and then they make different points, and then they counterpoint, but like not trying to beat the other person, just going like, well, what about this? Yeah, but there's that. But of course, like, but that's the problem. People bitch and complain when they see that. Those channels aren't popular. People aren't following it. You know who is an amazing God tier example? Has a giant audience, and I'm so happy he does. Because he's going to be a fucking game changer for this shit. I'm hoping he's going to be the leading charge. And I'll say who, but the leading charge toward good faith conversation on like contentious topics. That's Andrew Callahan. That guy is a fucking king. Watch almost any conversation he has with people, even that he disagrees with. He treats them like fucking human beings. And they have like good conversations. It's great. I don't know if I don't think I talked about it on stream, but watch the recent one he did. Oh, well, it's not his, but watch the recent Jubilee. Because fuck Jubilee. Jubilee's fucking stupid. It's literally just like gamifying this debate bro type bullshit. That's what Jubilee is. You're just gamifying and making it like a weird like you know what I think Jubilee. When I see Jubilee, I think it's like an ideological bukkake, right? That's what it is. Like it's just like one guy and 20 other guys that are ready and angry. You know, and it's a bukkake. Like that's literally like that's why I hate that shit. It's such a waste of time. I think the only one I ever thought was like interesting was before Andrew Callahan's was the Jordan Peterson one, I think. And the only reason that one was interesting is because there was like 2 or 3 of the people that came up were having like legit cool questions and conversations. They weren't just trying to own Peterson because, you know, he's a this or he's a that, whatever. But Andrew Callahan went up against 20 or whatever conspiracy theorists. So it said like 1 journalist, 20 conspiracy. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful sight. It was a breath of fresh fucking air. He treated them kindly. He was respectful. He discussed anything they brought up in the best faith possible. In fact, I think he played Jubilee because they were upset about how he handled it. They wanted a vapor. They wanted a like, well, that doesn't make sense. Wow, put on your tinfoil hat, crazy. Like that's what they wanted to see, right? But that's not what they got. They got like a reasonable guy. In fact, many of the positions, you know, because in that Jubilee show on YouTube, like it'll say like the person's position. It'll be like they believe this, right? And so then that's what like everyone around them is running to the chair. That shit's so stupid. Running to the chair, like to I don't even understand why they do the chair. It's so cringe. But running to the chair to talk to the person in the middle, and they expected this whole thing, and a lot of the times, and I know enough about Andrew Callahan, listened to him enough to know that he doesn't really have, like, his positions aren't like that unnuanced and without context. He loves context, he loves nuance, he loves information, he knows how to apply it, he likes knowledge. And so it would say something like, what was one of them? It was like, I don't know. I'm just like, I'll just say like an example. It's not part of it, but if it was like 9/11 was not an inside job, right? And then like you have like the 20 people there, and some of them are like, oh, right? And so then they like went up, and I felt like they felt, even the ones that felt like they were going to be combative. Like there was a little combativeness at the beginning of it, but once everyone saw how Andrew talks to people and how reasonable and respectful he was, and he's not just being like polite, no, he's like engaging deeply with the person talking to them and busting out information, busting out facts, and then agreeing with the stuff they say that does make sense, or he'd be like, yeah, actually, in fact, you're right, but it goes further than that. He was doing that kind of stuff. Sometimes he was actually reinforcing the points that the conspiracy theorists were making. Right? It was the craziest thing to watch. It's so beautiful. Like I'm surprised they aired it. I really am. Like, he was correcting them to actually, like, explain, oh, no, you're right, but you're not right in the way you think you are. It's kind of like this, but you're still right. Yeah. Yep. No, that's corruption. Yeah, absolutely. Like, so great. And it was so bad for Jubilee or whatever. Like I said, I don't know why they probably aired it because they knew it was gonna fucking, people were gonna watch it, because Channel 5, if you've ever watched Channel 5 News, shit's fucking fire. Watch the interviews with goddamn with Hunter Biden. That shit's amazing. The people who are actively censored are Jeff C. or Bill Cooper are the real truthers. Oh man, that term truther. Oh god, it's been hijacked at this point. But yeah, you had these people. Honestly, the people that were, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of Bill Cooper. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know why I don't know, because I know about a lot of those circles of things. But I'm sure some of the people that were like debating him or whatever are they were the kind of people that were really, really in deep into a lot of this stuff. And he was not shaming them. He was not treating them like shit. And that in itself, that display, and it's got millions of views now, showed the power of not being a fucking loser ass debate bro, and just being a reasonable, intelligent person that wants to have conversations about difficult topics. And he did it. He did it, and it was great. It was a great watch. Oh yeah, and like I was saying, Jubilee was like, so like they had like a fact checking thing like pop up like constantly. Most of the time it was popping up when Callahan was talking, not when the conspiracy theorist was talking. It was fascinating. Like Callahan would say something, I'm like, hey, you know about that? Like, you're into that CIA stuff? Oh yeah, you know that history? That's cool. And then be like, well, there's no, technically. It was so funny, dude. They're not all grifters active. Yeah. Andrew Callahan is not. That guy believes the shit he says. Grifters are people that don't believe the shit they say. That's how I define a grifter. Is somebody that is doing it for the money. And they'll say anything. And they'll change their position based on what makes the money. That's a grifter. Somebody that just has really bad positions, or like just really shit takes on a bunch of stuff, that's not a grifter. That's just a person who's got fucking brain rotted into the fucking debate bro mentality. The adversarial mentality. Why doesn't it show the whole chat? Why is it only showing like part of it? What the fuck is that? Let's see here. Oh, that's weird. There's like way more chat, and it's like, is it showing just the top chat or something? Wait, what? Why isn't it? Hold on a second. That's weird. How come some of the... Oh, okay, here we go. Is that why it's doing it? Yeah, I think I had the wrong fucking thing on here or something. Let's see. It's not showing the actual full chat. That was weird. I thought it was. Anyway, people want to organize and fight for something, but have no means to do it. Yeah, they can do it. They just organize and fight it. Any action that can be done feels like a waste of time. Leaving debate or heated argument, all that is left. No, that's dumb. No, disagree hard. People can do things. They're just not doing it. That's not what's left. It doesn't have to be what's left. The stuff I'm talking about isn't even being tried. This is something that's been constructed. Debate mentality is the true fucking psyop. If you want a psyop, it's a part of it is that. Make them fight each other. It's the same thing that happened where everything turned left versus right instead of up versus down. Left versus right keeps everyone busy at each other's throats. Add on top of that this fucking adversarial form of conversations that become like just common. Then you end up with the cesspool that is. How? What? Let's say universal healthcare advocacy. How does one get to that? You essentially get large swaths of people to not just hold demonstrations, but to actually do things that are actionable, that cause problems for the people that could make the legislation that can move toward those directions. You like, we don't just need like one fucking what's it fucking called? Oh, Walk on Wall Street or whatever the fuck. Like, we just having one fucking thing. Unions. It's gonna be way more than that. You need to cause problems. And I'm not talking about like, oh, go riot. That shit's stupid. I'm talking about make shit as uncomfortable, inconvenient as possible for people that want to continue just supporting status quo bullshit. Because this heated Occupy Wall Street. Yeah, we need like Occupy Wall Street, but like every day. In different locations. All the time. With like very, very uncomfortable facts being like, you know, put up as murals on buildings. That's what we need. Instead, what do we got now? We got like, God, Antifa's so fucking stupid. Like what it's like, that whole idea. It's just like, it literally fell into that trap of like getting a bunch of fucking anarchists to believe that their number one goal should be to fight the right. It's so pathetic. Yeah, and it needs to keep going. Because we're in a much worse position than we were then. It was already bad. BLM led to very little because BLM was like fucking mishandled. And it was also oftentimes anytime, like, let me explain something. France in the 60s almost had a revolution and yes, led to nothing. I think this is my first what's that guy called? Nothing changes. Nothing ever changes guy. Man, I can't remember. What's the name of it? Why can't I remember that meme? The guy, the Wojak, that just gives up. Nothing ever changes. Everything's doomed. That shit's funny as fuck to me. Because I mean, I'm glad most people don't think that way, because nothing ever will. But there are very, very large, what's the word, like, changes in how people are approaching information that's being given to them by both state apparatuses and corporations and everything else. Nothing ever happens. Yeah, that's bullshit. So anyway, I got like completely, but yes, there needs to be more problem causers, legal problems, like legal within mostly the bounds of legality, but essentially just constant nuisance, a constant way to cost money, trying to navigate it, mitigate it. Oh yeah, we definitely need a fucking radical flag. Fucking nuts, man. But I think it's coming from places, and I know a lot of people will disagree, but I think it's coming from places like Andrew Callahan and Channel 5. I think some of that shit's coming from those places. There's enough viewership, and there's enough like information that's being applied in a reasonable way that it's starting to make. I can't tell you how many like normies or fucking griller type people that are starting to like go, wait, this is all fucked up, man. I'm scared. Like, what is going on? Nothing's real, right? Like like people that never had an interest in like politics or sociological shit. Like they're starting to like there's just like TikTok videos teaching people shit, like concepts and ideas they would never like come across ever, like on their own. So they'll be like, oh, Dante video. Oh, that's what anarchism is. I always thought it was just people burning shit down. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Maybe that's not so bad. There's just like a lot of that shit going on. And it's great. It's great because it makes people want to ask questions. And there's more people asking more questions than ever. It's part of the main reason why a lot of this kind of a lot of this propaganda regarding like supporting Israel when it comes to a lot of this shit is not working anymore. It's not doing what it did in the 90s. I saw what it did in the fucking early 2000s. I saw what happened at, like after 9/11 and how people behaved and acted, and I was disgusted. Right? That machine of propaganda worked beautifully. Right? The only people that were saying anything were considered like outcasts and like weirdos and conspiracy theorists, and they would just call everyone that question, you know, Israel's like methods as an anti-Semite. Now, like everybody's like, this Israel shit's kind of fucked up, right? I don't really buy this shit anymore. Especially the people that lived through like their whole life through the Middle Eastern fucking war, went through all that shit and fallen. Like they're just like, well, what'd that do? It's just got a bunch of people killed and things are worse. That's weird. What did we do? Why is this stuff happening still? They ask questions, but they pose them with the system, not against it. No, they're going against it. That's what I'm talking about, Kitch. Like they're starting to just question the system in and of itself. There's like a certain level, I guess, like class consciousness occurring or whatever. But they're starting to just question the very system because everything, they keep being told one thing and the opposite keeps happening. And it's just, it's too much. It's too big a lie for them to carry anymore. Like they just can't carry this lie anymore. People are just going, no. Now there's like a knee-jerk reaction to not believing the party line or the state line or whatever the fuck it is that's being said. Like a lot of people are just going, I don't believe it. Why? Oh, because the government's a bunch of fucking liars. Like that they're like that's what's going through. Oh, there's just a bunch of fucking lies. No, they're just trying to trick us to make us fight each other. I'm not gonna fight nobody. Like they're saying shit like that, and it's like, okay, I that's not something I saw in the early 2000s or 2010 to even 2020. I didn't see any of that shit. People are just kind of done with it. They're just kind of bored. Not bored. They're just bored of it. Like they're just like, everything's expensive. Why do I want to fucking do, like, even people that like say they don't like actively like super care about Palestinian people and kids and shit getting like fucking operation leaded, but they care about like everything around them in their local life. And then they hear about the stuff about like, oh yeah, we gotta back up Israel and all this sort of shit, and they're like, nah, but like there's all these homeless people here, and they closed all this shit over here, and everything's real expensive, and I can't find a job. I don't give a fuck about that. No money there. Put the money here. We need it here. That's what like Joe Schmo, the griller, is saying. He's just like, no, I don't care about that. Please stop. Oh, they're ignoring us now. Oh, they don't care. And then that makes people mad. And then activates people. Like online, I've seen like people that I knew before that were just kind of like, like just didn't even like, just griller types. And now they're like fucking, they're like release the Epstein files. Take down the pedophile rings. The elites control. Like, and this was like 3 years ago. This was a person that's like, I'm not really into politics. Now they're like the shadow government, right? Like, I was like, whoa. They're saying shit like, and what's interesting is the people that were into like a lot of conspiracy stuff and all that kind of shit, right? Those people sort of ascended to like this other meta level of like, fuck Alex Jones, fuck all these people, fuck these people. They're like, they're this, they're that, they're just controlled opposition, like, and it's essentially forced a lot of people that are into, whatever, for lack of a better phrase, like conspiracy theory shit. It's forced a portion of those kinds of people to study and understand things like media literacy, manipulation, and coercion and all kinds of shit like that, right? They had to teach themselves that stuff because they started becoming more aware that the very thing that they think is true and that they're trying to hide is the actual psyop, right? So you have like layers of shit, right? So you have like the stuff that's for like to trick the normies or whatever, and then you have the stuff that's to trick the true patriots. No, I'm kidding, but the low, but no, the people that actually like dig and stuff, right? There's like so many red herrings. It's like out of control. Like and like, it's essentially like, oh, look over here, this is weird, this is crazy, right? Just to get the people that like have positions that are very, very opposite to whatever the state narrative is, to go, yeah, that's true too, look at that, yeah, they will do that, that's real. And then like obviously it's fake, or it's like irrelevant, or it's just a bunch of red herrings. And it sucks because they keep falling for them. But a lot more of the people that are into this kind of shit are not falling for that fucking crap anymore. They're just not. Some still are. Whatever, they're just stuck in their ways. But like, I think the more realpolitik approach to conspiracies is one of the best approaches. Like, take all the shit about like even if it was true, right? Let's just say it's true, right? What does knowing this, like, how is, they already have it set up so that you sound crazy if you bring this up, right? So why would you do that? Why would you just cook yourself like that? Like bringing up shit like adrenochrome. Adrenochrome. It's like, okay. Is that going to convince anybody here? Now, how about you talk about corruption? How about you talk about nepotism, despotism? How about you talk about all this shit, really obvious shit that people go, yeah, I don't fucking like that. That trigger their fairness, like, principle. The fair, like the monkey brain parts of it go fairness. Like, Unfairness bad, right? And hone in on that, because even if you had like a fucking video of like Hillary Clinton like fucking slicing open a kid's drinking their blood, or making or filtering it to make the adrenal, whatever, even if you had some, people just be like, yeah, there's no way that's real, that's fake, that's crazy. But if you have like footage of them doing something like really fucking dirty or saying really corrupt shit, and like about money, stealing money, slush fund shit and all kinds of stuff like that, that stuff makes people go, yeah, fuck that, I can't even buy my eggs, these motherfuckers are taking the money. Like, that's what pisses people off. That's what will activate people, not stories about fucking a Pizzagate. Dude, I went deep into that Pizzagate stuff. There is plenty there to discuss. Is it useful to discuss or use it as a vehicle to convince the population to do something? No, not at all. Not at all. That's where they're fucking up, all the conspiracy people. They're fucking up so hard. Just focusing on the most niche shit that's not going to affect any fucking person that isn't into it like they are. And then all they get to do is sit around feeling real smart, real like, I'm in the know, I know what's really going on. Who gives a fuck what you know? What are you doing? Can it be actionable in any way? Can you get the average person to give a shit? No? Then find stuff that will. The reason the Epstein situation is not going away, and even in Europe, you got like the British fucking making fucking giant ass pictures and mugs with Epstein and Trump. The reason that shit's not going away, no matter how much they try, is because it's all tied up in very simple ideas. Rich people do fucked up shit because they're rich and they can. And rich people get away with things that us regular people can't get away with. And that's very, very clear. And it's becoming very, very clear to a lot of people. And nobody likes pedophiles. It's as simple as that. Rich people, pedos, corrupt, control, bad. It's just a bunch of shit that the average person will go, yuck, yuck, bad. And it's not out of control wild. It's not like, we're not talking about like, like the occult systems that they might be using. They honestly, I think they might be like, have like a lot of these fucking secret societies and shit. They're about all that stuff. And they might have all kinds of like philosophical fucking reasonings for, but at the end of the day, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck if they're doing it for the demiurge, or if they're doing it for fucking Satan, or whoever the fuck you want to choose, some kind of fucking old god or something, right? No, you got it. Finding that out is just gonna make you go not crazy. Finding that out is just fun information. It's interesting information that is gonna be useful once you get like all the fucking other stuff like revolutionized against. It's crazy. Epstein is so big now. We busted the Wonderland Club back in the day and no one cared. Yeah, but that's because it's everywhere, dude. Like it's TikTok. That's why they're trying to fucking, you heard about that, right? Like it's gonna be Mazel Talk now. That was the joke, Mazel Talk, because it got bought out. So instead of fucking Chinese spies, we're gonna have Israeli spies on TikTok. That's great. Awesome. I'll take the Chinese one, shit, at least at this point. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, that's why shit like that, like TikTok, was wanting to be removed, because it was too hard to control. It was too hard to do anything about the distribution of information at the level that it was. And they think they're gonna get rid of it, or they're gonna just remake it, and fucking BB's gonna be sitting there going like, yeah, I love my fucking control over the media now, or whatever, for Israel. I don't know. Whatever the fuck stupid fucking plan they have, I hope it doesn't work. And also, you know, it's beneficial for the US because, you know, just more control over the fucking communications and shit. So, but I don't think people are going to stay on, man. There's just too much on regular folks' feeds now that they're just going like, fuck that, I don't want that. And then they're just going to go to some other shit. They will go to some other shit at this point. Before, but no, that it's just too much, man. Like once it actually starts, like they start noticing, hey, they don't let us post this anymore, or hey, those things I used to watch, they don't let you post that stuff on this. Fuck this place, and they're gonna leave. They're gonna leave. People don't like that shit. People do not like to be told what to do, what they can say and can't say, especially here in the States. That shit is unethical. Oh, there's a lot of directions that advocacy needs to be pushed for in a lot of ways, actionable ways. I gotta go, but honestly, if you're somebody that listens to this and you give a fuck about like making a change or whatever the fuck, stop watching videos of people debating about shit and just go like go help something local that you think is fucked up. If there's something local that you think is fucked up, go do it. Go do something. Go do something about the fucked up thing that's locally that you care about. If it's something like a little more meta, I don't know, do what I'm doing, I guess. Because my little thing, like main thing that I like want to do more actionable shit for is mental health related. It has to do with like neurodivergency and mental health. That's my little niche of things that I care about, like the most. I can talk, I can yap, all of this. People like to yap, but I'm hoping that through my yapping, it'll just inspire somebody else that gives a fuck to go do something in their own field, in their own specialization. If you're tech, do something tech. If you're fucking I don't know, whatever your career is, whatever your job is, reduce a little bit of suffering in that locale, in that thing that you do, in some way. Fight a kind of corruption in some way. Doesn't matter how fucking small it is. It doesn't have to always be like a giant group of people coming in through. No, it's just individual people going, you know what, fuck that, I don't want to do that's, I don't like that, I'm gonna do something about it. I'm gonna be subversive. I'm gonna do something to make that change in my local school district or something, right? I always gotta talk about big shit because I'm a fucking schizo. Like that's just how my brain works. Like it's always just, but even that I tried to kind of like break it down a little bit and go, okay, what can I do as a person that obviously doesn't have that much influence? Oh, I could I have a server for schizoids, right? A type of issue that doesn't get enough attention, that doesn't get talked about, that is misunderstood. There is no spaces for these people to discuss their troubles and difficulties. There is a terrible approach on how mental health approaches like neurodivergency in general and how that affects schizoids and all kinds of shit. Like, so the server, yeah, that's a thing that I have and it helps some people, even if they're just lurking. I offer the coaching thing. I have to, nobody subsidizes me, so I have to like charge if somebody needs some Zoid coaching as from a schizoid that has overcome a variety of issues when it comes to that kind of shit. So like, would I do it for free? Absolutely. If you know, it didn't mean like my wife going, we need to pay the bills. It's crazy. Yeah, but anyway, so the stuff, the easy stuff There's easy stuff that everyone can do, and then there's the hard stuff that only you can do in your niche. So do the hard stuff, and you can keep that shit private. You don't gotta be on YouTube talking about it. But the easy stuff, the lips, not just lip service, but the actively not letting shit go, talking about it, mentioning it, whatever. Everyone should be doing that. Everyone should be doing that. Easy. That's easy. Share the link to the thing that they don't want you to watch or see. Add some context, add some nuance to a conversation that seems to not have any. You could be that person, and that's like the easy stuff. Reserve the hard stuff, the hard, suffering reduction type elements to your specialty or your passion or the thing that you like morally or ethically really give a fuck about, like the most. That's like just your thing, and then fucking hone in on that. Like if it's homelessness, go do some shit about homelessness in your local city or town or whatever, your fucking street. Go help the one homeless guy that's always there. Talk to him. Not in the middle of the night or anything, but talk to him, see what happened. Maybe he just needs a little company. Maybe he just needs somebody sit next to him, have a beer, and then have a conversation. Maybe he doesn't know about a lot of fucking stuff that's around that could help him out. Because, he's been at it for so long, he didn't know they made a new program or there's a thing now. Right? If there's a thing that'll get him a phone, he doesn't have a fucking phone, tell him about it. Hook him up with the pamphlet. Tell him where it's at. It's just shit like that, man. Simple stuff. But, well, that stuff's hard because that's, you have to go out of your way or something like that. But figure out what you're okay with going out of your way for. Are you an animal person? Do some animal rights shit. Look, go down to your local shelter. See if there's anything fishy about it. Complain about it if there is. If you see any mistreatment, any of that stuff, right? Cool. That's one thing you can do. Are you an environmentalist? All right. Do something local for that too. Join in some fucking little group where they, they fucking go cut like seagulls and shit out of fucking like bullshit they get entangled from. In the water, or also or fish. Fucking take the plastic off the fish. Go on the weekends. Go do that. It sounds like, oh, what's that gonna do next? Well, nothing. But if there's like a few million people doing that, yeah, it's gonna do something. It's gonna do a whole lot. It's gonna do a lot when you have that many people doing stuff like that. You create a culture of doing good. You create a culture that is anti-corruption. You create a culture that is pro-life. Not like that. Pro-thriving. How about that? Not pro. You know what I mean? Pro anti-destruction, anti-annihilation. Anyway, I gotta go. That was my yap session for Thursday. On Saturday, I'm gonna be watching some stuff. I'm already creating like a playlist with my good bud out there. I'm making like a playlist of like videos that I can discuss that hit on topics that are important to me, or that I've like scrambled around in my brain, and I'll watch them, and then I'll be like, yeah, I'll watch part of them to see if it's like fucking with the idea, and then I'll watch mostly entirety. Sometimes I speed through it and for time purposes. On the Saturday stream and Tuesday streams. Thursday is just ramble times. I might not always do it Thursday if I don't have the ramble in me, but I guess I did today. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. If you don't, then you're stupid and you need to stop doing that. Don't believe everything I say. I don't believe everything I say. Wait. No, I don't believe. I like. How do I don't believe everything I say. I don't think that's a good way to put it. I believe in the things I'm saying. I don't believe I'm always right. There we go. I don't believe everything I say is right. It's just right for now. It's right based on what I understand right now. And then I could be wrong. And I'm okay with being wrong. I love being corrected. If in fact there's a correction to be had, if it's not just some like, I just think your opinion's like stupid, bro, because like, it's like, okay, well, tell me how I'm wrong. And if I am wrong, link me up. I want to see that shit. Let's see. Let me break that shit apart in a way that I can go, oh yeah, I was wrong. Anyway, peace. If you're gonna support the channel, support what I do, Patreon, please buy me beer. Patreon, PayPal, whatever. It's under, beneath, whatever, beneath. And what else was it? And there was another thing. Oh, and if you're a schizoid, go on the server. Zoid Void, but that's for the Zoids. That's not really like channel specific. It's more about the schizoid stuff and getting support related to there. So Zoid Void, if that's what you're dealing with, and if you showed up and ended up watching this because like you were interested in my more schizoid specific content that I had kind of like not permanently moved away from, but moved away from for now because it's just a lot of repetition at this point, and I'm gonna burn out if I keep doing it. Oh yeah, as usual, when day is dark, always remember happy day, but always remember to get fucking mad when it's a time.